Dr. Ruth Clark is determined to bridge the gap between academic research and practitioner application in instructional methods. Dr. Clark was born in San Francisco. She received her bachelor's in biology, her master's in biological chemistry, and her PhD in instructional psychology. It was interesting to discover why she went from biology to instructional psychology. She was quoted as to say, "I was a science major for both my undergraduate and master degrees, and what appealed to me was the research basis of learning, wedded with the creative aspects of instructional production." Much of her work experience has been in the field of instructional design and technology. She's been a curriculum designer, a training manager, an adjunct professor, and is currently the founder and president of Clark Training and Consulting. This organization offers workshops on performance and training needs, assessment, and course design and development consultation. Dr. Clark has made contributions to the field of instructional design and technology in many ways. One way is through published works. She has published many books on a variety of instructional design topics, including the online workforce training, cognitive load, using visuals, and the virtual classroom. She has also written many articles in the area of instructional design and technology. Some of them are Why Games Don't Teach, Efficiency in E-Learning, 4 Steps to an Effective Virtual Classroom Training, which is an overview of one of her models, More Than Just Eye Candy, Graphics for Learning Parts 1 and 2, and 6 Principles of Effective E-Learning, What Works and Why. Dr. Clark has a great interest in the cognitive load theory and has done a lot of work in this area. Cognitive load theory basically is brain bandwidth and is the total amount of mental effort being used in the working memory. Dr. Clark has done a lot of research into its implications in instructional design. She talks about chunking information and making visuals relevant so as not to tax the brain as much. She has described 4 distinct architectures of instruction that make an important contribution to the understanding of both learning and instruction. Multimedia instruction can be designed based on 4 different assumptions of learning. Those assumptions are receptive learning, directive learning, guided discovery learning, and exploratory learning. In receptive learning, the instruction provides information that the learner absorbs. It has very little learner interaction, so it's much like this picture where the learner just looks at the picture. Directive learning happens when instruction is presented in short sequence lessons, progressing from simple to complex that include rules or definitions, examples, and practices. Like in this picture, where it is a step-by-step instruction on how to serve the learner, step-by-step instructions on how to use the phone system. Guided discovery learning involves instruction that immerses the learner in a problem-solving situation and provides support for their solutions. Examples include games and scenario learning, and also cognitive apprenticeship. This was a new term for me. So cognitive apprenticeship is the idea that learners are immersed in a job-like problem and with support are encouraged to solve the problems. The 4th architecture discussed by Dr. Clark is exploratory learning. In this type of learning, the learner is free to access a diverse repository of information. It could be demonstrations, examples, practices, exercises, involving just a lot of a variety of activities to help them learn. Dr. Clark also developed the DVEP model, which stands for Define, Visualize, Engage, and Package. This model applies to instructional designers and just how you design a course or your lesson. There are 4 steps in this model that help provide a more effective e-learning instruction, and they are define, and that is you define your goals and how you want to achieve them and select the mode of delivery. Second step is to visualize, and this is to select and design the types of visuals to best promote learning. So you want to use graphics that are relevant to learning, not just for decoration. Engage is the third step, and that's providing frequent, meaningful interaction with the learner. So you want to keep them engaged in the course or in the class. And finally, the fourth, package. And this is what you do to put it all together. So you want to provide pre-information to the learners that helps them with tech issues, lets them know about expectations, assignments, and logistics, and then immediately engage the learners with interactivity tools. And one way that this is done a lot of times on e-learning or on online classes is to have a start here section where you have an introduction and you have maybe an introduction activity or a scavenger hunt throughout the course or some sort of activity to immediately engage and inform the learner. Her most recent research and interest has been in the area of efficiency in e-learning, and she offers this advice as you're developing in the area of online courses in e-learning to avoid overloading that in order to avoid apply research-based principles, apply research-based principles that minimize extraneous, minimize extraneous, maximize germane cognitive in your e-learning courses. So, for example, when you're delivering audio narration in an e-learning course, it's better to suppress any redundant written text. And this was shown in research where students found that less text narration on the and the text of the narration, repetitive text as well as representing what was being spoken and narrated on text items on the screen, in addition to pictures and any other text that might be on the screen, such as help text. They were overwhelmed and didn't learn as efficiently. Dr. Clark's contributions to the field of instructional design and technology have been many. She has helped workforce learning practitioners apply evidence-based practice guidelines based on valid research. She is clearly a leader in the field of instructional design and technology. And this concludes my presentation on Dr. Clark.